Actually, he's a marine engineer turned into an author, and I think he's more successful than many other authors who pretend to be authors. So it's an excellent foreword he has written. It was very encouraging, and I'm really happy that he's present here. I think he has a foot in two places, which is really difficult to be physically present in two places. So he promised to leave. I promised him, I said he can leave by 7 o'clock. I think he's going to give some prizes, distribute prizes, so he has got to leave. So thank you so much, Mr. Narsai, for everything.
Thank you, Rashmi.
Yeah, no, please, thank you. Now I request Neha to read a passage of excerpt from a chapter and a dialogue, a conversation between my maid and me. As Mr. Raghavan has said, we can relate to every character that has appeared in the book. So after she renders it, after she reads the two pieces, I'll take over, then I'll talk about my journey, how I came to write about this book. And then you're free to ask me questions, any question, and this is just to encourage questions so that you'll get a mark. Thank you. Well, after Mr. Raghavan speaks, I think I'm dumbfounded, absolutely tongue-tied. Now let me go a little into the journey of this book. Actually, I must thank Mr. Ashwin, the director of Odyssey. It's called the Prison Corporation, the director, and Odyssey is part of it. When I walked into this store, we usually come here quite often. When I walked into the store in June, end of June, I saw a small board over there in front of a number of books, neatly placed books. There was a little placard. We invite authors to write, based in Madras, to write something, to write a book in time to release during the Madras Fortnight. So the Madras Day, you all know, we have come to the end of the Madras Fortnight. So that had given me the inspiration to start writing a book. Literally, I started during end June. July, we went on a short holiday, came back, and I just managed to finish it a week before. And our publisher, Palnyappa Brothers, he couldn't come because he got held up in traffic. Mr. Chalapan, he's a partner of Palnyappa Brothers. So he was kind enough to publish it just in time for the book to come out during this Madras Fortnight. So thanks a lot. His father is here, Mr. Ashwin's father, and I'd like you to convey this news to him. So it's all because of Mr. Ashwin, who has, so far I've been to so many bookstores and I've seen so many publishers, so many authors, but no one has ever motivated an author, that too Madras based, to write something to a deadline. So that was my motivation, my inspiration. In fact, some of my friends, relatives, they said, you're very secretive, because I could announce, because I myself wasn't very sure whether the book would come out at all by the time the Madras Fortnight ended. But fortunately, I managed to write just in about 7 or 8 weeks. So if there are any lapses, any spelling mistakes or anything that I had missed due to oversight, I beg your pardon. But as Mr. Raghavan has said, he always has nice things to say about me. So that's another encouragement for me to keep writing. But I'll certainly take your suggestion and make longer pieces and will not end anything abruptly. So this is it. Now, going back to my writing journey, the last time I launched a book here was in December 2014, same venue. It was published again by Palnyappa Brothers. It's called Journalism Think Out of the Box. That was the last book which I had published. And this is my 7th book. Incidentally, Chennai Collage is my 7th book. And to settle on a title, it took some time for me and the publisher to decide on the title. First I thought Chennai Chips. Then I thought it sounded too mundane. Then I said, okay, let me think of something else. And both of us, we almost at the same time, we said, why not Chennai Collage? Incidentally, I'm sure all of you know what Chennai Collage means. I don't have to tell you. All the highly educated, enlightened audience that you are. But what happens whenever I mention my book, immediately what they say, oh, you wrote about Chennai colleges? Is it about a Chennai college? And when I went to Google, I had entered Chennai Collage, and there also it appeared Chennai College. And today's newspaper has carried an insertion, a small insertion in their engagements column. Meera Raghavendra Rao is going to release a Chennai College. So I suppose, anyway, that brings me back to my college days. Probably that's a feather in my cap to talk about my college. So it's Chennai Collage, and it's got and the picture on that, I had given the idea to the publisher, and he had engaged an artist. The artist, I think he didn't get the concept properly, so he made a few buildings that appeared on Mount Road, and he thought that was the collage, the best he could do. But again, I had reminded him, it's got to do with all the things that appear in the book. So you find a lady wearing shalwar kameez. I insisted that there should be a lady wearing a shalwar kameez because that's the trend now. The sari is obsolete. Shalwar kameez is the end thing, whatever age of the lady. And I wanted this Rangoli to be there because there's a chapter on Navaratri celebrations in Madras. So I wanted that, a lady doing Rangoli competition. And it also appears in Mylapore festival. It's a part of Mylapore festival. They have a Rangoli competition. And then I wanted the rickshawala. We all remember getting into a cycle rickshaw before the autos were popular. So I wanted the rickshawala. And these two are part of any Dasara Kolu, Navratri Kolu. We have this couple. And at the back, you find an auto and the water situation. The water situation in Madras. Half the time your maid doesn't come in time because she's got to collect water from the tanker. So that makes it so difficult. Even today there is this problem of water problem. So this lady, naturally, she's quite disgruntled. But I don't know why he made the priest look so angry. Probably the priest was not too happy with the money he was getting and the dakshina we were giving. So probably the priest is not too happy about that. He probably wanted some more. And then we have the beach. So there's a little, earlier the children used to go to the beach for an outing, eat sundal, enjoy all the street food that was available. So all that appears on this cover, the back cover and the front cover, figure inside the book. I mean, they're all just, as a collage, the meaning of collage is small episodes, little episodes, which are slightly elaborated, slightly, just enough for you to create that interest, for the reader to create interest, and as I put them in a book form, and make it, and she said, let it be like a mosaic of thoughts or whatever. So Madras Mosaic is my debut, which contains all that is, again about people. It's people oriented because I'm a people's person, I'm a feature writer, and as he has already said, my inspiration comes from, not so much from books, but from people and places that I observe and I visit. So that was my first book, Madras Mosaic, and that was very well received. It was a great success, and within 3 months, the second edition of Madras Mosaic had come out. And after that, of course, people have been asking me to get it printed the third time. But meanwhile, I got into writing other books like feature writing for Prentice Hall, and I produced a coffee table book. And then I started writing a blog, which is, I think it's just crossed about 66,000 hits, 66 or 68,000 hits so far. So I produced 2 books. I made 2 books out of my blogs, about 90 each, and again short pieces. And they say it's a very good bedtime book. You know, you can just read and sleep off. And it's good for travel. And then the journalism think out of the box. I thought, let me write something where everyone, for that matter, have to think differently. They have to be creative. They just can't follow a beaten path. They have all the creativity, which just has to be tapped. And that's how I wrote that book. And I gave some suggestions on how one can think out of the box. And after that, this book has come, is published and it's been released today. And thanks, Mr. Raghavan. Thanks, Mr. Narsaya, for writing such a beautiful foreword. So now you can ask me any questions. And as I said, one question per person and you'll get a mark. Thank you.